You're listening to Life Check Yourself with life coach, transformational leader, and dating and relationship badass, Marni Battista. Every week, you'll get the raw truth from top experts and real people on the important life and love issues you want to know about. So, if you're ready to life check yourself in your relationships, your career, and the areas of your life that matter most to you, and you're not afraid to be called out on your, stuff, then you're ready for what's next.
Life Check Yourself with Chris Gillis. How to spot an F-boy. What really matters in a man. Ladies, welcome back. Welcome back. Did you watch Welcome Back, Kotter? Chris Gillis?
I did, a little bit. Yeah, I did.
Welcome back. I'm Mr. Kata. Welcome to, we have a new name of our podcast.
What's that?
It's called Life Check Yourself. And that is what we're going to do today when we talk about dating traps with our example of the Bachelorette. We are going to check, Michelle, we're going to check these dudes. The douchebag has been identified. It's so good. I want to start with that question right off the top because often, people are so focused on a guy looking good on paper, like he's handsome, he went to the right college, he has this job, he's charming, and it's like, oh, he's amazing. I think when we get attached to the idea of what is going to make us happy and not really looking at what will make us happy, we can make excuses or be attracted to the idea of someone rather than who they really are. And there was this dude on the show named Jamie, and he was like 36, right? He was like a grown-up-ish.
No. The crazy thing is he's 32, but he looks like he's like 52, which was so weird. We're like, what the hell? How did this guy get on there?
I thought he was going to be your new Kenny.
I love little kid, simple Kenny, ripped up Kenny. I keep looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, damn it, I need to look more like Kenny. I need to get my shit together.
This guy was no Kenny. What made him, well, first of all, what do you think made him like fit into that mold of like, oh, this is a guy that I think that I would want in my life?
So he has got this interesting, and I know guys like this. He has got that. He carries around this just cocksure aura confidence of, I got this shit locked up. Babe, come with me. Get in the passenger seat. I got life taken care of. I know the answers. I'm the one. I'm the guy. To a point that, and we've seen this on other shows and on Girls You've probably seen this in life when you're dating guys. You're like, holy moly, this guy, I can just chill the fuck out and I can just relax and be in my feminine power. This guy's got all the masculine boxes checked out. What am I doing? No need to waste any more time dating guys. Let's all in, right?
Yes.
So good at that. And that's just what this dude brings. He's a CEO of like a biomedical tech company, like every buzzword you
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I just kind of feel like a Venice legend out here. And he's buff and like in Marni, he looks mature. He looks older than
he does look mature. That's so funny.
And mature.
And what's funny is I think that, and ladies, I know you're gonna like be like, okay, I admit it. There's this image of like, this is a guy I would be super happy to tell my friend, I'm dating Jimmy. Oh my, he works for biotech. He's like super tall. I'm like mocking you. I'm sorry, ladies. Right? Or your mom or some person that you think if you're dating this person, then it gives you worthiness.
True.
Right? And we get attracted to, and I see this happen all the time when people come to work with us. The before is they have this idea of like, who they're supposed to be with. And when they dig into it, it's all about like their own self-worth. Like they need to be with this person because then they'll be like successful or lovable. And it's a fucking trap.
Yeah. 100%. And they make it, it's one other like quality. Ladies, have you ever dated the guy and this guy talks slow and low, and there's ways to just put you at ease and say, okay, like I said, I'm going to build my nest up right around here. Everything is safe. But the genius, evil genius of these guys, by the way, Dr. Emily's mom called him Jafar from Aladdin. He does look like Jafar, doesn't he?
He does look like Jafar. Oh, where's like Dr. Emily? I thought maybe she was going to join.
Oh, I know. I wanted to get her.
She's in bed right now.
Yeah. And by the way,
your cat is like, come on, can't we get Dr. Emily on the show?
Going crazy. We have such a tough life. Some guys are putting their boots on at 6 a.m. to tar a roof outside, and we're like bitching because we have to have 2 cups of coffee to do a podcast. So buttery. I'm so butter soft. But anyway, yes. So it's that these dudes who have all the right words to say and make and put other guys down. By the way, and I thought that was
I didn't like that.
Dude was doing no. But then these are signs, though, Marni.
Yeah, they're signs. They're so signs. Everyone else is wrong. I'm right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and put any doubt in your mind, like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like, almost like a sump. And then, worse than the least of all is then even also just as bad but putting doubt in your mind. And that's what he does. Those guys out there who plant those seeds and try to make you look like the crazy one. Maybe we can actually we use our G word, gaslighting, in the right. Maybe he actually did that for a change.
Oh, Greg Grippo. So wait, tell me some things that you think he said to Michelle that are like a little red flaggy.
Got it. Well, the biggest thing that jumps off is there are, I'm concerned, and that's what's so tricky, right? Because he's like, comes off is, hey, I'm concerned about you, and I'm trying to protect you really early on. So he, I think, red flag, and she's like, I didn't realize there was an issue there. Kind of, thank you for being my Superman. And of course, turns out this dude is the one who is spreading rumors or putting insecurities and doubt out there. So that's definitely red flag. The other thing, if you can see it, and is check out a dude's friends, who he hangs out with. Man, birds of a feather, really do. And you know what? Oftentimes these kind of guys, and it's girls are like, I know sometimes they're attracted to the James Dean lone wolf thing, but sometimes dudes are lone wolves. Oftentimes, unless they live in Alaska by themselves, they're lone wolves because other wolves don't trust them, and they eat the other wolves and the other dogs.
Wow, that's so deep. That's so true, huh?
It is. And then in noticing it. Well, what we had the privilege of doing, which, ladies, you probably hear about it afterwards, because people don't tell you the truth until afterwards. But if you have a good friend who will often reveal, in this case, we got to see him kind of hitting on another producer, and just so confidently cocksure of himself, and just a complete lack of humbleness. And I think that is actually the inability. We call this in some of my men's group work, the inability. We said men should have different sides to them. Curly, meaning being able to be silly and laugh at yourself. This dude does not have any of that.
Yeah,
you can just see it. Fuck no, this guy is. You do not know everything. He is the best. He's like that. Really shows like just a narcissistic. There's a kind of pathological, angle that you can tell this dude is working in his own reality, and that's scary.
My thing was that I was like, oh, like run for the hills, like lace them up, take off now, do not hesitate. Is when he's being questioned about his behavior, and I will say I think that the other guys, I think they were mostly adult-ish conversations, in that particular situation. And this is like so frightening. They're having a conversation and he is not direct. So that he keeps not answering the question directly to where at the end, if someone says this to you, run.
That's it.
What's your question? What are we talking? You're like, what the motherfuck are you? I literally wanted to like throw a crowbar at my TV because when someone's like, what's even your question? Like, what's
Well,
even
then
your
they
question?
turn
You're like,
your question into another question. You're like, wait, what? No, hold on. You're a biotech CEO. You're telling me you can't understand this pointed question. Well, it only comes down to the word of this and this and this. Like, what? No.
be direct. So I think all those are super douchey. What I really liked, and Reality Reina and everyone was really impressed with, was, and last week we were sort of like, why didn't she ask other people, like, who said this? So it finally came out. And then she has an opportunity to find that out in a group setting. And what we loved was that Michelle was like, this isn't appropriate to have this conversation in front of other people. That's amazing. And then she pulls him aside and she's basically like, you're not my person. And you need to go. Bye-bye. You said how to say, what did you say in your little title?
F-boy, F-bye.
Yeah, how to tell an F-boy, F-bye.
Yeah. I took that from a TV show, by the way, on HBO. Definitely watch that series. That's huge. It is tough. And I love the way she handled it. But you know what, Marni, I love that you just mentioned that even Michelle is, she seems so wise and smart. You just pointed out in the beginning of this, you said sometimes we want to see what we want to see, and maybe we don't necessarily. We want to believe we found such a stud, and we'll miss these very pink flags. And that's interesting. You're right. She could have easily at any time said, especially when she was ready to cry that someone's all these guys allegedly are questioning her integrity. Why didn't she just fucking come up to him and say, who said it?
Well, she didn't do that last week, and that's what Dr. Emily said. She was like, why didn't she just at that thing say, hey, who said this? It was weird. She made up a bunch of stories that it was true. And so, the other thing that is the opposite of...
we do that, Marni, right?
Oh, my God. No, well, that's just it. Totally. And so that's why it's really important that you get clear on what you really value. Otherwise, you're missing out. Even if you're online dating or you're out somewhere and you're missing out on the great guy because this guy doesn't work for biotech, or this guy didn't go to Stanford, or this guy doesn't make, $350,000 a year. And there are really amazing men out there that could be really great for you. And so the question to ask yourself is, why are those things important to me? I mean, I had a client who's actually been a guest on the show, Janice, was telling us she was being curly with herself. She was laughing at herself, and she lives in a certain part in Los Angeles, and she was just joking and saying, like, my criteria was ridiculous. You know, like, they had to make this much money. They couldn't live in these certain areas in Los Angeles neighborhoods. Like, if they came from like this neighborhood, or that they were this 57 minutes away, or they were this, that she's like, I had a novel of what things meant. And she realized it was all a reflection of her own lack of worthiness, that she was wanting someone to look and be a certain way, because then if she went out in the world, then people would think she was successful or good enough. And so if you are doing that, life check yourself, bitches. Okay.
Why does Janice, this always blows my mind with my gal pals when I'm, trying to introduce them to guys, whatever. Why do so many 5'5" girls think that they need to, that their guys all have to be 6'2" and above? What I don't
know. Jeremy was like, God, I'm 5'10". Is that short? What the fuck? I was like,
it used to be. Yeah.
I don't know. I am well, now I'm probably 5'7.5". Yeah, but back in the day I was tall. Now, like, my kids are like 5'9". That's tall. But I remember when I was single, I forced myself to go out with guys that were shorter because I just didn't want to miss out on a person. I wanted to give it a go. But to me, like, I'm 5'7", whatever. Jeremy's 5'10". That's tall enough. So I don't know what that thing is, but I just think people are taller now.
Yeah, okay.
I think people are eating their Wheaties or something.
But as far as, like, how you said it says something about what a lack that we need to fill or some goal.
Yeah.
Is there something going on where are women mad that they can't reach the top cupboard or the top of see what's on top of the refrigerator? It's just dust, by the way, up there. Why are they obsessed with
with tall guys?
Yeah, it's a status symbol maybe? Or
I literally don't know because at one point one of my daughters, who's the shortest of them, was like, I have to date a certain guy who's this tall. And this was a while ago. And me and her sisters and Jeremy, we're like, what? She would laugh about it. Like, she knew it was silly. And now she met a really nice guy, and he is way taller than her and not a basketball player. Nothing against basketball players. I don't know. I think we do. Well, there's the whole old mythology of what a man is, right? Which is tall, dark, and handsome, right? Like, and it's this like image of like protection or providing or some old weird utopian fucking. You remember? Did you ever watch Beauty and the Beast?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Gaston.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Like Gaston. Like Gaston, right? Like he's this big, dumb guy, but he's like, hey, he's like this big, tall, strong dude. Totally. And Belle's like, I don't want that. I want like a smart person. I want someone who gets me. So, and she picks the Beast. And that's the whole point.
that is so funny. So this last Sunday was Halloween, and I'm dressed up as a woman hanging out talking to Dr. Emily outside the girls' bathroom at Bungalow here in Santa Monica. And this young girl gets there with sure shit, just like I start talking about relationships, and she's like, oh my god, I'm here. Start chatting her up. She's like, I'm here because the guy I really want obsessed with didn't invite me to a Laker game too late. And blah, blah. I was totally thinking about, this girl needs to talk to Marni and learn how to set expectations and everything. And she was like, yeah, but I'm here with this guy. And she goes, yeah, but she goes, but I had to bring him. I go, who? I see some guy kind of hunched over, sitting down. And I go, wait, but she goes, yeah, but look at him. I go, obviously I had to bring him. And I go, why? And she goes, he's tall. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. But it's so nuts. And she's like, I don't like him. I actually like the other guy. She's like, but I still have to give this guy a chance and make out with him and hook up with him because he's tall. And she was so proud that he was tall. She made him stand up, walk over to me. And, he's like 6'6" or something.
What
like that. It was like, holy shit. These chicks are so obsessed with dudes being tall. And so she doesn't even like him. But she cannot let him go and still hit her up and hook up with her and stuff because
he's
that's
tall.
The only thing he brings. That's it. Nothing more.
Wow. Well,
dumb.
I don't. Like she needs to life check herself. I'm gonna keep saying it. Yeah. Okay, I have another question. I love it. So let's talk about friend zoning.
Oh.
Should you give your friend zone guy a chance? Rodney is the guy who came dressed as a red delicious apple or something, right? Yes. On the day one. And what's funny is I didn't get friend zone vibes from him. I just thought he was one of those nice guys. And this has pissed me off. They're like, oh, he says about himself, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm not the most handsome, but I'm going to love on you, da, da, da. And I mean, she's like, why are you telling me that? Like he says, she says, I know you think that you're not, tall enough, smart enough, handsome, whatever it is. She's like, I disagree. And it's like, I don't even get that. Like, I don't think someone needs to start off by saying, I know I'm not as XYZ as you're looking for, but I'm a good guy. Yeah. That's not sexy.
No, that's not sexy. That's friend-zony.
So how do you, I know it's so friend-zony, right? And it's, here's another thing ladies do that's very friend-zony. And we did a retreat with our graduates and our clients, which was so amazing, live in Colorado. And one of the women realized that she friend zones men all the time because she's actually uncomfortable with her sensuality and sexuality, so that she puts up this barrier, right? Because she she's uncomfortable, right? She just doesn't feel, and she uses humor and sometimes self-deprecating humor as a way to make people laugh and feel comfortable. And she realized, oh my God, I'm friend zoning so many guys because of my fears, right? And so what do you think about Rodney and his friend zoning? And why do you think he ended up shifting it and getting the kiss?
I think it's also, I love it when we chat about this stuff because kind of flesh it all out. I think Rodney is like the polar opposite of Jafar Jamie. Jafar Jamie thinks he is the handsomest, tallest, buffest, smartest, everything. And again, it's so ironic. And again, and that's like sexy and attractive in the very beginning. And then Rodney, he takes a step back. Even his other tribe, they don't like him. But even then, they kind of joke about, and look, Rodney even shows up as he's dressed in silly costume, right? Remember, he's dressed as an apple, very Connor, very cat guy Connor B.
Yes.
In his energy, and which so it is unfortunate, and there's probably so many guys who start off like that. I think it's worth noting, just like with the Rodney, just like with this tall, sexy guy at the bungalow, it's all that shit that we put on the table. In after a couple dates, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All the bullshit is decided for. Rodney, you actually are. We're going to find out that he actually is kinder, sweeter Jafar. That you are a dick, or whatever is truly going on. And I think you can only lie for so long. You can't stay in a relationship and keep playing that archetype character that your true insecurities and who you really are come out. I think that's what's.
Well, we get into loops with people, right? Like, so if you're dating like the Jamie Jafar guy, you're like, am I enough now? Am I enough now? Do you like me now? Right? How can I get him? He's so amazing. And maybe with friend zone guy, the pattern is, I want to like him. I'm trying to give him a chance. I never like the guys that are liking me, and you go on these fake dates, right? Like, right? You're like, okay, I'll try. And you're missing the point. Like, you get so in your head about what you think you want or what you think you need that you're not even present on the date and actually getting to know the person. And then your emotional body just gets tired of it if it's a friend zone guy and there's no chemistry. And then you just fade away. Or you end it, and you never really gave yourself a chance to get to know that person. Yeah. And that's so sad. And then on the flip side of that, you just end up in these loops with these guys like Jafar Jamie, who never give you what you want, but they call you enough to keep you hooked in. Yeah. And that's literally the most common thing we hear is why the guys that I am attracted to never want to commit, never like me. And the guys that I'm not interested in, want to like marry me and be with me forever. And so it really is important that you get to the root of why are you dating images of what you want to see or what you think you're supposed to see rather than really being yourself, seeing those dudes for who they really are. And what they really will bring, or not. Yeah,
that's it. I think the $1 million question based off that is, Marni, is how, if you're just starting, like Michelle's, you're just, go on a date with, 1 date, 2 dates with a guy, and you're like, damn it, he's just not giving me that. Because you're nervous, I'm nervous, but what's so sexy about Jafar is that Jafar's like, no, Jafar's not nervous because he's evil and he's going to destroy you.
He's like, I got you, girl.
Yeah, he's rubbing his palms and lacking his lips, slaps, and he's ready to kill you. But it's but at the same time, if you notice, like, oh, we got, this sad little puppy dog, Rodney, and it's not fun to be in a relationship where you're constantly lifting the chest and the chin of the puppy up, being, hey, nobody, stop, don't put yourself down, stop dressing up as a red delicious apple, and be the man that you really are. How in the world can a woman early on without wasting this time and having, some bullshit, some 1980s movie where you find out you've been dating the friend zone guy is actually the real guy. How do you get him to lift his, to give him a chance and to encourage him to go for the end zone and get the hell out of the friend zone?
I like that. Did you make that up, or did you read that one?
That's an old Chris Gillis classic.
I love it. Oh my God, you're so smart. Okay,
our trademarks are going to be.
I think that so if a guy really has low self-worth, he's not your guy. So you can't pick his little puppy head enough. But I think that when there's not chemistry, or you're not sure if he's into you, or you're not sure if you're into him. And I've told too many clients to count to do this with amazing results, is on the third date, say something like, I really like getting to know you. I feel like you make me laugh. I feel like, we have fun together. We have so much in common. And I am scared because I feel like there's some chemistry that's not happening. And I would hate for us to miss out on something, because I'm not sure what's missing. And what happens is it puts it on the table. And I've had so many clients say something like this, and the guy's like, oh my God, I know, I've been so nervous, blah, 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 blah. And then there's this other vulnerability that comes out. And this is what we have to talk about before we wrap up, because we said we were, and it reminds me, because Chris pointed out that a man's vulnerability is a woman's vagina. It's the thing that we hold dear to us, and that is the prize, right? That is when we really feel safe, and that is really what we give up, so to speak, right? And for a guy, it's his V is his vulnerability, right? And we're like, ooh, and that turns me on, that makes me so excited. And so when we're vulnerable and we create space for a guy to be vulnerable, often it ignites some kind of spark, and you get to have a real connection, and that's what can shift things. And I can think of a couple of clients actually who had conversations like that, who ended up getting married to that guy. And because it allowed him to actually let his guard down and say what's really going on for him. And so that to me is before you say there's no chemistry, if you are having fun with this person, if you wish that you liked him, have some version of a conversation like that and see what unfolds. It's an experiment. There's nothing to lose, because the thing is, you were going to dump him anyway.
True. Say it again one more time for the listeners and for me. If I ever switch teams and
just hit rewind. Just hit rewind.
How do you? Okay, so again, succinctly, how can a girl do it? She's on a date, and she's like, man, this guy's great. He just does it. He's not making me. What did Tia say? He's not making my vagina dance or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yes.
How can you find out if? How can you see if
just
he's got
be
it?
vulnerable. Just say I want there. I this is fun. There's something missing, and I don't want that missing thing to go without. I want to search for it. I want to and it makes me sad because I like you, and I don't laugh this hard with anyone, and whatever. The truth. And then just see what he says. I mean, because
I love it.
Why not? Why not?
I love that, and it's worth bringing up and mentioning the gals who are like, I don't know, I don't want to make him feel awkward or less than. And hell to the no, guys, no matter how, if we're wearing cat suits or apples, or if we act like we're scared little puppies, men, when given the opportunity, the right man, the man who's worth a damn, we actually love the opportunity to do something brave and pick up our arms and show you who we really are. So don't let us get away with our bullshit that we, this fake avatar that we're pretending that we're, that we just maybe stand in the back of the crowd of wolves, because that's just what we've been doing with the other wolves. We love the challenge when you give it to us to prove to you, because we do love women so incredibly much, to stand up and make you proud. So I love that, Marni. Give us that chance. But sometimes we need instructions because we're fucking dumb.
They are. You're all.
That's why I like you repeat it for me because I'm so dumb. I'm like, wait, say it again one more time.
I love it because I always joke that men are puppies. You have to train them. So just lift that little puppy's head up and give him a little kiss on the mouth. Wait, where were we? Oh, that was another reality show I was watching, The Circle, where people voted her out because this woman said she would kiss her dog on the mouth, and people were like, she's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one last question.
What's up?
Did you just say it's up?
No, I said, what's up? Yeah. What's up? Keep them coming.
What's up? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that Rodney, so she did kiss Rodney.
Yeah.
But you don't think it's enough?
I don't think. No, I don't see it yet there unless he can, change who he is. I think that it's going to be unattractive if she has to be like teacher. And I think I see this with a lot of your strong, powerful clients. I think that they want to take their power, their power suits off and just be an embrace and chill the fuck out and be soft and vulnerable. And I think she doesn't want to. I think she wants somebody. She's voiced it many times how much it means when someone lifts her head up and encourages her and tells her this little puppy chin up. And I don't think she's going to want to do that for much longer. I'm not sure if Rodney will make that switch, but it is awesome. Who knows? In a different world where she doesn't have 24 other guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it'd be okay, but I think she's got to make the. I do like how Jafar pointed out that that being on Bachelorette, it's like being on spring break. She's just fucking hooking up with boys here, boys there. Yeah, you're a good kisser, and you're not. You're gone. So she does have to make that change. So I don't know. I don't think he would have enough time, but I do think that what she made a huge step in the right decision. So I think in practical dating terms, there would be a chance because he does seem like a really good dude. Yeah, he does seem like a good dude. You know what my favorite part of the episode was? What? That there wasn't so much, Taisha, and they weren't in the episode very much, and that made me really happy. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so before we go, I want you to give one last comment on this because I brought up the man's V, the vulnerability, and we talked about how on the past shows, this season, lots of season, the way a Bachelorette in general will look for attraction. And we talked about it in Paradise, and is that they're trying to get a guy to say something vulnerable, and then it makes them melt. And it's like, tell me a story about your childhood. Tell me about, the way you were raised. Tell me about... And cry, bitch, cry. Cry, bitch, cry. You love me. Yes. Cry on camera for America, you little bitch boy. Go. Yeah, and it's like, and so I think what you said, because this theme is sort of about this F-boy douchebag player guy, is that he will pull out a little crumb of it. Dude. Yes. So when you were in your heyday of F-boy life, did you ever pull out like a little bit of your sad childhood to get to like with a lone tear? I feel so cringy admitting it. Yes, dude. And that's why, ladies, don't keep fucking up. Like, it's not working. Obviously, we're watching. I'm so glad you're bringing this up because we're like, oh well, that's what Michelle does. That's what that's the new theme of all the Bachelorette. Like, I know a way to filter through all the douchebags. Is to see if they're vulnerable and make them cry, and we'll see what happens, and then I'll know. He's not a douchebag, dude. No fucking way. We are Jafar's me. We're all the clever ones out there. Go, hey, I know how to do a quick cheat code on this and pass it up. I'll just pull some bullshit tears out, and it's so funny that we say that because as I was watching Jamie tell that story. It was very factual, and that's one of the things, Marni, that we learned about when speaking about trauma of their past to see if a person's still affected by it or whatnot. Is like, well, are they still stuck in the middle of it? Are they still talking like it's current events and stuff? He wasn't. I go, now either that's really good because he's healed from it, or this guy's just a fucking bully, or he's just a manipulative douchebag Jafar, and he's trying to cross-check that vulnerability box out so he can start getting physical, give up his V so we can get to her V. quicker. So ladies, do not buy that bullshit, and that's not a surefire way anymore. Maybe it was at one time, but you know what? We've learned how to get around it. We're smart. We're clever rats.
Yeah, no, totally. And when I remember, like, when I was really young and I went on a first date with my ex-husband, he told, since you said admitted your cringe, I'll admit mine. Literally, like, he told me that his brother died and this whole sad story. And I literally, like, I leaned in and put my hand on his knee and I was like, I can, right? Like, this is my happy place where I fix you and you're fucked up and you told me a sad story. And, so
now you're touching us, Marni. Now you're closer to us. Now we're like, oh, we're almost there.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think my ex was an F-boy at all, but I just know that I used to be attracted to men that would show me their broken side and be emotional about it. And then that was my criteria. And because it made me feel worthy, because I could fix you. It made me feel close to you. Right. It gave me a misread signal of like, oh, you don't just want to have sex with me. You'll tell me your feelings. And then I would make that mean that it was okay to have sex with you. Right.
And that's awesome. And we've talked about it, past trauma. Is it a red flag? And what's so interesting about these clever, F-boys out there is that F-boys can be very interesting because they have lived through a lot and they have, colorful stories, and we talked about, when you're being vulnerable and they're sharing some traumatic trauma creates, scars that are just fucking beautiful, because especially those who come through them. But it's so interesting how, either they can come through them and they can come to the they can come use the be like a Skywalker, or they can go to the dark side. And there's so many dudes who've learned to use that cheat code, and they use that trauma, they use that shit, but they're using, they got through it, but they're on Vader. They're Lord Vader's out there, and they're out to use their powers for evil versus good. So
you have to listen, and if you hear any of whatever, then that you should actually run. This has been amazing. I love it. What's funny is because I got to go to this retreat. I did this VIP day before the whole event started with just 10 ladies, and we spent about 15 minutes after the day ended having some desserts and tea, and the whole time we just talked about how much they love our breakdowns of the show and what they learn. And there were ladies there who don't watch the show, and they're like, oh my God, I love when you guys talk about that. So I am so excited always, even though sometimes I'm like rolling my eyes.
You are.
Every week. I'm like, ugh. In fact, Jeremy started talking. I was like, I need to actually pay attention because it's, so I love it. I love the opportunity. And I think there's some gems in here. So thank you for waking up early. And we both did our morning voice today.
We did.
These were our first words spoken. Ladies, whatever you do, check yourself. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning into today's show. So if being in an intimate relationship in which you feel 100% seen, heard, and accepted by a high caliber man is a priority for you right now, and you're interested in seeing if you're a fit for working with me and my team at Dating with Dignity, here's what I want you to do. Just head over to DWD VIP, that's D as in dating, W, D as in dating, VIP.com, and book a call to speak with my team. We'll get on the phone with you for about 60 minutes, and you'll get crystal clear on what's stopping you from finding true love right now. We'll also take a look at what you want to create, what you want your whole life to look like when you're able to finally be fully expressed as a woman in a healthy relationship with an incredible guy. And if we can help you get from where you are right now to where you want to be, we will show you the fastest path possible that makes sense for you to do that. We help smart, successful women all over the world solve this one missing piece in their life so they can finally have it all. So to see if we can help you do the same thing, head over to DWDVIP.com. I'm Marni Battista, and let's talk soon.